So here we are with Mary Hurlbert, who was one of our reclaimers this past session. And I asked Mary if she would talk to me a little bit about the program, so to share with people who might be thinking about it or interested in it. So the first thing I wanted to ask you, Mary, is when you look back, because it's a 6-month program, right? It's a fairly long program. What would you say is the biggest change that you've experienced or that you've noticed from when you started till now?
I think the biggest change that I've noticed is that I view my relationship with food completely differently. I no longer feel like I am victimized. I'm the victim in the world trying to go out and punish me for some weird reason and make it so that I can't eat food that I feel like I deserve to eat. So losing the victim mentality was really big. And just accepting that it wasn't anything, the world is not out to get me because I can't eat this food and that food isn't everything.
Yeah, I think that's huge, isn't it? Because for so many of us, when we start, that's the feeling we have, right? So that's amazing. I know you mentioned that in one of the meetings, so that is fantastic. So this is sort of a variation of the same. I think you kind of just touched on this, but if there's anything more you want to add, I wanted to know how you would say your relationship with food has changed. So looking at sort of the way you would have been eating back then versus how you eat or how you approach food now. Is there anything else that you wanted to add about that?
I think the other piece of it is that through this program, along with some other things that I've been doing in conjunction with this, I've got a better self-love going on. So that's part of it, in that in losing the victim, I also determined that I am worth it to feed my body properly. And therefore, the choices that I make don't have to be horrible. Just because you can't eat something isn't horrible. There are other alternatives. You just have to be open to them, and you have to make yourself available. And you're doing this for yourself and for your own well-being. And so therefore, it is a type of self-love to encourage that. So it kind of all works together.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. I love hearing that. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. So, you said you were working in conjunction with other things, and which I think we all should do. But since we're talking about the program, let's say, and maybe you can tell people what you felt was the best part or the thing you liked the best about Reclaim.
Okay, so Reclaim, while I was working on the self-love thing, the Reclaim brought the self-love, how it relates to more the food side of it, as opposed to something else that people might do that might affect the spiritual or the physical or whatever. Mm-hmm. The program also helped me with having the group support. Mm. Helped make it feel like you weren't alone in the struggle. People were able to, talk fairly frankly about what their struggles were. And you realize that everybody's struggling, and it's, same song, different verse maybe. Everybody's going through the same thing. It's all a little different, but it's all very much the same. I loved some of the things that we did as far as things that I've read before, but I've just never really implemented. Things like the positive affirmations, mm-hmm. The food planning, the things where you just have to make choices that support what you want done. Yeah. So those I enjoyed too.
And you definitely put into practice a lot of what we talked about over the 6 months. So I have seen some amazing changes. So that's great to hear. Okay, well, so if somebody's watching this, let's say, or even if you knew somebody who might be considering a program like this, if they had been struggling with their healthy eating or they had to have dietary restrictions, they were thinking about doing Reclaim, what would you say to that person?
I would say that it is well worth the time and the money to have that coaching. the way that I kind of, being an accountant, I kind of break everything down into cost analysis, cost benefit analysis. And so when I was looking at it, it was kind of like, okay, well, this is no more expensive than, getting coaching. This is what it is. This is what you're paying for, is that not only are you getting Ricky almost one-on-one, but you're getting the benefit of the group. So you're kind of getting a 2-for-1 kind of thing.
And it is a coaching program, just to be clear. That's what the program is. It's a coaching program.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I just found breaking it into bite-sized activities from week to week, from class to class, and being able to concentrate and say, okay, yeah, here's an idea. Let's try this. And then it was only one thing that you had to work on. So it wasn't like I was trying to change everything at once. I can see how you would need somebody who was just trying to really learn how to live on a restricted diet. I think this would be more beneficial for somebody who already has some of the skills of living on the restricted diet, and not somebody brand new to it.
I see this program for people who have been dealing with a restricted diet and maybe have fallen off it once or twice, and they're looking for a way to stick with it. So very much like you and the other people in the group.
Yes, exactly.
Great.
So I'm trying to think. I was going somewhere else with this, but I got derailed.
Is there anything else you wanted to add before we kind of wrap up?
No, I would recommend it for anybody, and I'm looking forward to participating in the next group, because I think that while I'm expecting the course material to be similar, I think with different people that will bring different dynamics. And there are some things that I would really like to revisit again, because I think a lot of this stuff is things that you just need to bring to your forefront time and time and time again, because this is not successfully eating on a restricted diet and enjoying it is a lot of skill sets that you need to keep practicing.
Yeah, I agree. It's something that you can revisit over and over, and you get something new out of it each time. So I'm thrilled that you're going to be with us again. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing about your experience. Thank you.
Okay, Doug.